Hey guys, welcome back to the land of books and their movie adaptations. And this week it's just books, two of them to be exact. Two extreme horrors called Fluids and Girl Flesh, written by May Leitz, who is also a content creator right here on YouTube on the Nyx Fears channel. Now, before I bought these downloads for my Kindle, I had been a subscriber to Nyx Fears for a few months. And I have to tell you, they really broke the mold when they made May Leitz. She is also a book reviewer, movie reviewer, and analyzer of the disturbing and macabre. And it's how she delivers said reviews and analyses that sets her apart from the others. You can get information on disturbing movies from horrible reviews, and you can hear about disturbing, intense books, from Wendigoon and learn about the not safe for life iceberg chart from Plagued Moth, and otherwise have your morbid curiosity, excuse me, slaked by Nick Crowley and Hannah the Horrible. But it's May Leitz who will deliver her assessment of all of the above with cheerful sarcasm and a totally straight face. By cheerful sarcasm, I mean that, for instance, her sage advice of go ride a roller coaster to whomever would think to cobble together something like Snuff R73, and her generalization of the bottom tiers of the not safe for life iceberg chart is that they pop off so badly that you just want to take off your pants and go running outside, is also wildly amusing that for just a moment you forget that the information you're about to ingest is about what the worst humanity has to offer. So if you want to learn about disturbing content and also be tickled, every once in a while, May Leitz is your lady. So let's start with Fluids. We have two main characters that the point of view switches back and forth between. Starting with Lauren at the opening of this story, who has such a nervous disposition in the beginning that she can't even keep thin air down. And she meets Dahlia online, who has a terribly disturbing secret she did a very, very bad, you know, at the before she and Lauren started talking. Anyway, they decide to meet in person and embark on a journey that would take them far away from these one-horse hick towns that they hail from. But first, they need capital. And the plan is to go to a fancy casino resort where they can find some dense-headed poster boy for Viagra, sucker him into a night he won't soon forget, and soak him for all he's got. They find that very thing, and their wild night goes so horribly awry that Lauren barely escapes with her life, and Dahlia is so injured that she is thought to be dead at first. The following morning, Lauren gathers her bearings and goes back to find that the hotel room they were in has been cleaned up and checked out, and she has no idea where to find Dahlia or the man who flipped the script on them, whose name was Danny. She tracks him down and finds out where he was staying and entangles with his wife, who she kills and performs necrophilia on as she is disarticulating her. After this, we switch over to Dahlia, who is dismembered and destroyed but still alive. She makes her way back to the casino and is happened upon by a good Samaritan who gets her something to eat and gets her cleaned up. Only it's not just any concerned citizen, it's Lauren in disguise. So now they are back together and the tables have turned. Lauren, at the beginning, was nervous with a hair trigger gag reflex, and now has that killer instinct. And Dahlia, at the beginning, had that killer instinct, but was broken down by a would-be victim. I'll stop there and not spoil the ending. Now, Girl Flesh starts with two kidnapped victims, Angie and Caroline, assessing their situation. Both of them are famous, Angie as a true crime blogger and Caroline as a musician, and it is Angie doing most of the work in finding their way out. While getting annoyed with Caroline's defeatist whining, they escape, find a getaway vehicle, and drive said getaway vehicle until it gives out. Fortunately, within walking distance of a house that offers sanctuary and is all too obviously a trap. They are soon back in the hands of their original kidnappers, and they're not going down without a fight. They sustain some pretty gruesome injuries but are triumphant, and now they're all alone in the middle of nowhere. But this experience has changed them. They're bonding and rethinking the lives of complacency that they no longer see fit to return to. However, Angie's husband has found them, and he will hear none of it. He naturally assumes that Angie has lost her mind and Carolyn has been a toxic influence. And that transpires into a fight for survival because the meaning of survival has changed. Both are still wounded and bleeding, but seeking help and medical attention will drag them right back, well, or it stands to drag them back to their old lives, and they want to be together at all costs. And Girl Flesh ends with something of a cliffhanger. They were victorious and survived, but in the middle of nowhere and injured. Sounds like something of a temporary victory, and what lies ahead for them is left to our imaginations. And that is my review of Fluids and Girl Flesh, both by May Leitz. I recommend them especially if you have a strong stomach, and I recommend the Nyx Fears channel just as much. As for me, I still humbly request your comments, shares, subscribes, likes, and if you're feeling hungry and generous, check out my sponsor in the description. And as always, I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next book and movie.